How's it going, everybody? 2:51 p.m. August 28th. And we're going to go into run 8. We're actually going to go into the California server. Weekend's over, new week's beginning. This is going to be a big week, potentially for, definitely for California. A new release is coming for RTS this week. One way or another, I could release it now, or I could potentially get some more into it, but we'll have to wait and see. I gotta coordinate with my programmer, and I say programmer because I'm not really doing much of the programming anymore, so that's Ski's got that handled, hopefully. I'll talk to him more next week. I was hoping to meet with him today, but he was unfortunately he was busy, so we're planning on meeting on September 11th. Holy cow, that's loud. If version 2 doesn't go up that weekend, I'm going to meet with him on September 11th. If version 2 is up by that point, or coming into play at around that point, I'll have to postpone it. But I'm going to go on to the California server. I have announced my intentions on the forum. So now we're just going to get myself on here. See who's on, who's not. Mikey's on, Bear's on. Is that it? Oh, Tony's on. He's working San Bernardino. Awesome. Wow, that was quick. Should be. So, actually, this is good because I know Tony was involved in the conversation. Bear was involved in the conversation as well, and Mike. So, this might work out good if you guys are So let's see what we got here. I haven't been on the server. I was on the forums over the weekend. My son's starting to play video games a little bit more when he gets bored, or I get bored. And so I know San Bernardino's operating right now. I think San Bernardino's working great. Tony's got that, I'm pretty sure, well under control. So, I'll go to the matrix for a minute. Let's see what we got here. We are on the 28th. Let's see. We got a standby instruction back on the 26th. So, what else do we got going on? Is that just a part, or is that some of these dates are a little screwy because when the cycles change, then all of a sudden the dates change. So hopefully we'll have a solution to that. But okay, so we got another inbound. See where it says before, where it says new after, so September 7th is probably correct at this point. So that won't be here until later on. What's the welcome screen showing? We're showing at 9:18 p.m. So yeah, it probably just left by the looks of it. So that's why that's coming in September, which is going to be after the next cycle. Which is why also there's the yellow dates here. I don't know why that's showing July 25th. I don't know. Maybe because the date's not there. So Cadiz is back, and it became available tonight. So Yardmaster has to inventory Bakersfield, that's another one. So there's a lot of stuff that comes in and around this time. You can see this one right here, the 240 minutes, and this is what I referred to in a post. Let's see, I've been on Barstow Matrix a lot today. Awesome. Well, that's supposed to be awesome, not awesome. However I spelled that. So that's cool. So that one, this 240 can make an adjustment. Basically, all that needs is an entry of 240 minutes out of boron crew, and that'll get rid of that. Because the time had come and gone, and there was no work for that crew, if I recall. Everything else, we got a 31st and a 29th. That's not to worry. Now, I think the issue was 114 again. I think it's overblown. But we'll take a look. So 114 is full. That happens. It fills up too much because what's happening is the well, there's a couple things. Actually, I'm going to get first of all, I'm going to get to a cause. There is one interesting cause, and that is when the trains come in. Like, there was one that was humped the other day, and it was humped actually just a couple hours. Actually, it was Ski who brought it in. I saw that, and I tried to get to him in time, but unfortunately he was in the middle of humping. And that just... what happens is if the trains get humped too quickly, or very quickly, there's a backlog, and that's normal. So you get the backlog. We got 100 minutes, so there's a lot of... whoops, let me relinquish that. I'm in the background here. Could not auto MU. What was I doing? I did relinquish that, I hope. What? I don't even know what the hell I clicked on. Alright, whatever. So, we're looking at... so there's some of this stuff right here, for example. Okay, I know there's some Bakersfield. What happens is a lot of times a lot of Cadiz stuff gets thrown in here. Kind of ditto with the San Bernardino. It really doesn't have to be in here, but it does because you're in the middle of sorting 114 and there's no other place to put it. There is one place that it can be thrown temporarily, and that's right down here. It should really only be temporarily for a short time. The other one is the lead of the local yard. Right now it looks fine. I'm just seeing if there's any issues. And I mean, yeah, this is starting to get packed up a bit. But the switcher's there. There is trim work that's needed, which is understandable. There's 100 minutes available. I'm probably going to be working on some queues tonight, but looking at this, I don't see an issue. I don't know what the issue is supposed to be quite honest. I don't get it. A lot of these empties can be forwarded to Bakersfield. They got Barstow tags on them, but they're really not used out. They're kind of just come back and then they can go. Grain, of course, that goes onto the empties. The hoppers, who knows? Acid, that's another one that, if needed, can be moved. So that's what that's all about. So it's not bad. This yard, I've seen this yard way worse. So I was expecting to see a disaster, and it's really not that bad at all. It looks pretty good to me. I mean, I don't see the issue. Yes, I know 114 gets filled up. So let's see here. I don't see an issue. If the train doesn't get out right away, it's not a big deal. And I know there's a continuous call of trying to rekindle that crew. We got to a point where we had a boron crew available earlier in the cycle, which was probably by that time it probably would have been a couple of weeks ago now, since we're on a 48-day cycle, and we didn't need it. I remember it, and mind you, we were getting off a weekend too, so it wasn't really that much. So, yeah, Mike's in there doing some entry right now, so that's where you see the different color, and it corresponds to what's up here. So to get rid of this, this is evened out, so it's perfect. And then I just go into. I'll actually do this. Of course, I think everybody knows how to do this. What happens? You got. Where's boron crew? Is it down? Oh, okay, it's down further, I think. I don't think that's right. Is it Barstow or is it Barstow hump, Barstow trim? I thought it was boron crew, but I could be wrong. Or just boron, is it? Oh, BNSF? No, that's not it. That's not it. I gotta check something for a minute. Oh yeah, okay, that's right. We took it out of the boron became quote unquote a non-train or whatever a while back. I'm still confused. Barstow switching district. Let me double check that. No, wrong one. Used to be. Oh, it's still a 5 o'clock train. I don't know. Let me just try this. Or am I in the wrong area? Train yard. Okay, that's fine. So work. I'll just put it as a standby. I don't even know if I can do that. Well, we'll see. We'll know in a minute. So being a Barstow switching district, we got boron set up, and if I go back over, I'm going the wrong way. Barstow 60, 120, yeah, 4 hours. I think this will work. If it doesn't, I'll adjust it. I'll figure out what's going on here, or try to figure out what's going on. So 4 hours for boron. Submit. Let's see if it updates. It's trying to do something, but I don't know if it's going to do it or not. No, it didn't. Look up today, Barstow time. Okay, what's it going to here? Well, the remaining time, there's boron right there. Barstow trim. Barstow, that says boron, so what the heck? It should have done it. Unless it came in. What the hell's going on? I'm not sure what it's doing, to be honest. There was a 180 that was done there. Oh, we'll find out. So look up today. It's doing 8 to 35. Was it under? Look up today, Barstow time, A4 to 35. Okay, hang on a second here. I think it was attempted, but it was. I'm going to put 51 onto this. I think we're okay to do that. Now it's going to probably drive that nuts. Probably too nuts. Wait, number. Get out of here. Alright. Lookup evaluates to an out of range row value 43. Really? Oh, okay, I'm looking at the wrong. Or am I 51? Let's try that then. I did 51. Oh, okay, hang on. Now I think I'll get it. There we go. Okay, so I gotta take off 3 hours at some point. 6120, I'll take out that one, I guess. 60. I'll take the one out on August 21st. So it was attempted, but it never did anything. August 21st. I don't think it was used. I could be wrong, but I don't think it was. Let me just see. I think that was an adjustment too, if I'm not mistaken. So Barstow hump. Well, he's got 3 hours in there. I know he's got 3 hours. Let me see. 61, 22, 40. He's got... He used 3 hours? Yeah, great. Oh, I got people cutting the lawns here. Always when I want to do something. I don't recall this whole thing of being used the Barstow crew. And I know there was a lot of stuff that was used and overdone. But 3 hours? What was done in 3 hours? I'm taking that out for now just so that we got the adjustment in, because something's not right. Okay, that would have left 1 hour. Sorry. So I'll put the 60 back in. It's 240. So 3 hours of it was used. There was still 1 hour left over, and it never got used. So that was always available, and it never got used. So it's pretty much right on track. Sorry for the lawnmower. I got my window open and somebody's cutting my lawn. If it comes down to bug me, I'm going to be really ticked. Okay, now it's 0. So that's good. So that's been adjusted. So that was the reason why is because the cycles got changed and it got upgraded to 48, so it needed more fields, so this wasn't calculated properly. But according to what I just saw, there was still at least 1 hour available that never got used. And I'm still not too sure of the request here, because let me go back to that for a minute. I want to see what's coming up. That's not till September 7th. Okay. Got a 24th, the 28th. We're not too sure yet. Mike's in the middle of counting those right now, so we're not even too sure what's needed in 114. So I just don't get it. I'm having a hard time figuring out what the issue is, because we've had it far worse and still managed to do it. If any of you guys are listening to me and you can... Jesus, Murphy. I hate lawnmowers. Especially, there's only a little section beside my house here. I never know what's going on in this place. The place is still for sale. Thankfully, nobody's been in here lately. But, you know, all of a sudden they'll show up. Yeah, I don't see the issue here. I see 114. Okay, it's full. I get that. I see the local yard. Yeah, it's getting... I mean, I've had... When I've done it, I've had this whole track right here, and I've even had cars starting to come out the ladder up to here before. Yeah, so yeah, there's no issues with 114. Okay, so what was... what was the emergency, or what was the, I won't say emergency, but what was the request about having more engines in Old Yard? Because that's what I saw. And when I saw it, I said, wait a minute, why is it needed? And I know Mike replied to that. He said, I remember him saying that we've been fine. I mean, I'm open to all suggestions. It's just I'm just trying to figure out if there was an emergency. It sounded like things were going nuts here. We've had one full track here of cars that were just sitting unsorted, which isn't ideally a great situation. But my God, this, unless somebody's been switching this yard on their own and not recording time, which is always possible. This yard's in great shape. I don't see the issue of anything here. What's the panic? That's what I want to know. Or if there was a panic. Anyways, I was going to do a whole thing on this because I thought, I was thinking to myself, okay, there's got to be cars all over the place here, and I see 114's full. I get that. Yeah, that's what I thought, Mike. I saw that response too. I know you said you were going to look into it. It's just, no, I don't see the need at all. It's fine. So what I'll get into then, emphasis on at this time. Yeah, and honestly, I know the emphasis being on this time. I don't see it in the future either. I don't see how things are going to change that much because we're operating under a full manifest schedule. So things aren't going to change. I can't see it changing. I mean, Victorville might get a few more cars, or maybe a few less, considering all the other crap that's been down here. I mean, I do see an issue with these, for sure. That's a waybill issue. But we never got around to it, so it's better just to, like what you guys did, was get rid of the empties and pretend pretend they didn't exist. Okay, so that's cool. So yeah, I'll go through the flow thing, and I mean I'm kind of preaching to the choir here, I think. But this is for others who are wondering about why and what. I'll get out of here. I'm gonna go that way. I'll stay on the server, but I don't need to see the yard anymore. It's in good shape, and 100 minutes is a lot. That's plenty to keep things going. And actually one of the biggest things that have helped us has been getting rid of that whole brake structure we used to have. Because it used to be tight when we were taking lunches and 15-minute breaks and all this other crap that we had in there. That was just complicating the hell out of it. And I think it was totally unrealistic, because crews will take their breaks whenever they can take their breaks. And running a hump engine, I don't see why they can't eat. I mean, there's a lot of offices where you eat at your desk, especially if you're not doing that much. So I don't see, I didn't see it being a big deal, so we got rid of that. Where was I going here before I got onto that way? So yeah, that's totally been improved. We got some releases and everything. Everything looks fine. So it's in great shape. So that's cool. And Tony's working on San Bernardino, so I know that's probably good. What was I going on? I was gonna go about the flow or something. Oh yeah, now I know what I'm gonna do. I gotta get out of this for a minute. So yeah, we've adjusted that. That's zeroed now, and that was just because of an error why that was still showing up. Well, that's been fixed. Yeah, I want to go in why I'm talking flow here, and I think I talked about this the other night. Is this the one? This is probably the one. Let's see if we've had any. We've got another, yeah, Mike's added stuff as well, so let's just take a look at the data here and see what's been happening. So we got Mike as a new one. He's definitely looking at Yardmaster, hump operations, switching and mainline, so he's kind of open to anything, I guess. Zero on dispatching. And he's available on weekends. Highly variable, so it could change. A few hours in the afternoon, evening, about 9 hours there. So his weekends are definitely available. That won't change too much at the moment. That's the 38th. It says 39. It's the 38th, or is it the 30? No, it's the 37th because there's 2 lines above. So that's the 37th entry. To here, I did put an email blast out to everybody, so asking and actually getting participations, 2 different things, obviously. But even for what we have so far, I'm comfortable. I was comfortable enough to go into producing at key jobs, and this could actually Mike and I. Mike Rice. I want to make sure I'm differentiating Ski with Mike as far as the 2 mics. I was talking with Mike on the potential. Well, there's a couple potentials. The one we're still trying to figure out, of course, is we don't know when AI is coming. So AI could come as early as tonight, for all I know. And it wouldn't surprise me if honestly, I've been checking it daily. I'm at the point right now where I am checking it daily because there's no warning. I don't get any heads up. I don't have the contact. Well, I do have the contacts, but I'm not too sure if they're still, even relevant to the discussion with. I was going to mention names, but let's just say I've seen some people who I used to talk to now and then who have disappeared again from the list, as far as the list that I've been on a couple times. But unfortunately, those things, difference of opinion or whatever. But the quote-unquote Run 18, and that included beta members, myself included at one time. So I really don't have anybody close enough who, number one, will trust me with my non-disclosure agreement, which apparently I've been reminded of, which is fine, because I'm not going to do anything. I'm not going to jeopardize the business end of things. I'm more interested in preparing for what's coming ahead. I have absolutely no indication. I'm about as in the dark as anybody else as to when this thing's going. If I was to go on a gut instinct, I would say we're very close from going to AI. I think it's going to come sooner than later. I just have a weird feeling. I think they're that close. So once that does happen, we got one major. This week is going to be a major week. And it depends, and I'm going to use the other mic, as in Ski, who's programming for me now, who's done some awesome work. I'm going to do another live stream later tonight. I'm going to show you some of the stuff that is literally blowing my mind. I haven't seen too much more. What he's produced so far, I'm not too worried. I haven't had any more updates. I know he's even... His code is actually more beyond the current code that I'm using right now, which is what I consider the last stable version. He's into something right now where he's trying to overcome the small blocks. I have to check. I have to take a good look and see if there are any more small block issues. We've eliminated the BNSF Bakersfield. That's no longer an issue. That as of this cycle coming up, it's done. We don't have to worry about those... none of that issues that we had where 3 or 4 of the manifest trains wouldn't spawn, or usually I think it was like maybe two trains a cycle, to be honest, 1 or 2, it seemed. The intermodals seemed to work fine. It was the smaller cars. I'm going to go in tonight at some point later into this evening. I might even have some time to operate tonight, if because that's how far ahead I am again, and it's because of Ski's programming, quite frankly. So I might have some time later tonight. I'll just throw that out there. So we'll see if there's anything I needed, but let's see. I've gone through everything else, and I want to make sure I can do my part as far as the operations go. But of course, this is going to be my major priority. It still is. Getting back to where I was going with this, what I did was I calculated the data points. We're at 723 total hours now. Of course, that's divided up at a 7-to-4 ratio, and then you have to you can really take a look deep. But I went with 438 minutes just because it rounded off fairly nice for hours a week. And for that gave us 48 hours a week of dispatching available potentially, with myself, of course, well in advance. I'll be available on a Sunday starting at 3 p.m. most weeks. Bear's not around. Bear's also a huge interest in dispatching. Now he was available in the mornings, but I wanted to keep this. I didn't want to keep it a day thing because that takes away from the people who work 9 to 5 like myself, or 8:30 to 4:30 actually. But the people in the days, I wanted to make it so that, number one, I was available to dispatch most, if not all, weekdays in the evening. But I still wanted Bear to have as much potential as possible. However, the other thing that goes along with this, and it's an interesting one, is we still don't know what some of the features are going to do. The big one is the server, and Mike and I had talked about this. There's the issue of being able to change the modes. If we're going by the current modes, if you take something from Anarchy and you change the mode on the server, or all of a sudden you put an obligatory password in, you can only do that from the server. 10 p.m. Eastern, Mike gave me the time when 10 p.m. 10 a.m. Eastern, he gave me the time that he would be leaving. So that kind of opens it up even further back. I think, let me go back to the data here. I want to take a look at what Bear has down, if I can find him. I know he was there. All I gotta do is look for the big red 10. There he is. Big red 10 on dispatching. Very easy to find. Yeah, so there you go. There's 10 a.m. right there. So he is available to start. He's got an end of 8 p.m., which kind of falls in line with potentially going 12 hours, if necessary. I'm hoping that can be controlled remotely. But then again, we got another issue. And that is, if it can be controlled remotely, who's going to be in charge of it? Because I'm not going to be here for 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm thinking we may have no other choice but to go with. I'm gonna try something here while I'm here, just to think about this, because who's going to be there 2 p.m. on a weekday? Most people aren't. I know Mike's around at 10 a.m. So let me go with a 10 a.m. I hate doing that. 11, 12, 1, 2, 3. That puts it to a 6 p.m. I'm not comfortable with ending it at 6. So if I add another 20 hours, oh boy. Do I want to take a day away during the week? Monday, so Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I could throw Saturday in there too if I really wanted to, but so 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. will keep the hours as they are. The thing is, and I'm going to do some calculations here. If I bring it up to 10 p.m., which ideally I wouldn't mind doing. Let me pull Mike here for a second. I'm gonna see if I can pull this one. This is kind of like a worst case thing. So, Mike, what? I know 10 a.m. 10 a.m. Eastern. You go to work. What is your home time again? Your midnight on pool nights, right? Okay. So I threw that over to 6 p.m. I'm not comfortable with that. I mean, yeah, the weekend's available, but not everybody wants to play trains on a weekend either. Correct on pool nights. Okay. Okay. So midnights on pool nights is okay. Hold on a second. Now I'm tempted on something here. I'm gonna call that specifically midnight. $14. 32, 40, 28. 40. Ooh, maybe not. That's really pushing it, but I can always push that back too. Maybe to a 6 hour. And I don't mean that weekdays. I'm thinking of something else here. Monday, Wednesday, Friday. $14, 28, 38. That's already 42. Okay. I mean, that kind of sucks for Mike, because he's not around. Hold on a second here. Yeah, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. Is pool just Monday, Wednesday? Okay. Alright, let's play around with that then. 10 a.m. to midnight. That's Monday and Wednesday, actually. $10 a.m. to midnight puts it at 14 hours each, 28. I'm going to throw 7 p.m. in there. Maybe I'll throw 8. Just to square that up. Okay. 10 a.m. to midnight, that's 28. 38. Woo! That puts it to 10 hours. I would have to put it to 10 hours here. Okay. Ha ha ha. Well, it might be pushing it, but it's potentially possible even for me. Back to 3 to 11, that's 8 hours. So 14, 28, 36. There's your 48 right there. And Friday is probably going to be a popular night. Won't be the midnight, but I can swing with that. That'll keep some of that time over that way. So, anyways, that's just an idea. I think everything will be up for, hopefully, we talked about things going remotely too. The thing is, you need an admin or somebody who's trusted. It's one thing if you have somebody who's, dispatcher or whatever, but you need somebody, that, I'm not saying that certain people aren't trusted or whatever, but you want to know. I mean, I wouldn't even give someone just with Yardmaster access, and we have a lot of potential Yardmasters. I wouldn't give them access to a server necessarily. Well, that's my opinion. So I've got it laid out there. So I'm still under the 48 hours. I just divided it a little bit differently. What happens on the Friday? Here's the thing on the Friday, and this is why this might work. If I look back on my Friday, and Tuesday and Thursday works for me too, but then that's a total. I mean, you could probably throw a Tuesday and Thursday in there, but see, the reason why I put that midnight in there, or you can skip the Monday, Wednesday and go with a Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, which eliminates that whole midnight, because I don't know how many people you're going to get at midnight anyways, other than myself, who potentially is there. But now hold on a second here. Hold on. Let me just change that. Okay. Let me go back to them. Well, it doesn't matter. I'm gonna be around those nights anyways. Never mind. Okay. Well, that's interesting. So let me play around with this for a second here. 10 a.m. to midnight. Let's play around here. Oops. Helps if I can type. So, let me count the hours down here. The total. 8 hours. Tuesday and Thursday we're looking at 26. And then at the moment that's 12. I think that's it. No, that brings it to 46. That's fine. I can stay up later on a Friday night, no problem. I usually do anyways. There's your 48 hours right there. So you're skipping Monday, you're skipping, for now, you're skipping Monday, you're skipping Wednesday, and Saturday. Saturday I don't think we have enough dispatchers. At least not right now, so, So yeah. So as I think I've mentioned this in the other video or whatever, but I'm not gonna go on too much more about this because there's not really too much more to talk about because we'll have to wait and see how things go. But what that does is that will I think Sunday starting it at 3. Are you? Yeah, you're around this time. You're here now, I assume. And if it's not, you know, things change. I mean, you have to shut the server down early or whatever. Let me see here. All right. Yeah, and it doesn't have to be perfect. Things change. People go on vacation. People, you know, there's all kinds of things that can happen. I mean, for me, Model Railroad Club, for me to get enough people together or to have sessions, I have 6 sessions a year. When we run 8 hours. So, for me, the way I see it is we're given the chance for people who are too busy in the week that just don't have the time. And then you got your mornings, so that might help some people with different time zones, potentially, who are not necessarily North America, but that gives a really long stretch. Bear. So you're looking at the shutdown times of 11 p.m. This helps me in the weeknights because what happens there, and Sunday, because what happens there is normally at around that time is when I'm going to call it the night. The data for Bear, he's pretty much done at 8 o'clock Monday to Friday in the east, and that might change because of the time zone, which is okay, because I will be able to pick up, even if I'm 15 minutes later or whatever the heck the case may be, like during the summer or whatever, I'll be able to pick it up, or hopefully, you know, it might hang in AI for a few minutes. Bear will get used to setting up a route to just, you know, let it go, and then, you know, even if I'm not there to hand off with him, I'll be able to take it over. Ditto on Friday nights and Sunday. That's all me. Whoever else is there to back me up and learn or whatever, that's fine. You know, I got my work cut out for me for Sunday. Well, I got my work cut out for any of these. So will Bear, but hopefully there's enough people that are interested in taking over a desk or two, because the territory is going to get a lot busier. it's fairly busy as it is now. You add in the San Bernardino sub, then now you got a fair amount. But the whole idea there is to try and not overwhelm. If a the dispatcher is the key to making sure that the AI is moving. The yardmasters is part-time under AI, where if they're there during those hours, great. If they're not, it's not a big deal, because then they have all the time between the sessions to get to it. And right now we're looking at a Monday, and I know Bear wants to dispatch for 5 days. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen until we have probably, I would say, twice as many people. Then, eventually you might be able to open up a Monday or a Wednesday. But then Monday, not necessarily a Monday or Wednesday, because then Monday, Wednesday, that goes into a whole midnight thing, and then that's relying on me to stay up later. Now, I can stay up later those nights. It's not going to kill me. So there is potential there, but we'll see. I ain't gonna stretch. I'm not gonna stretch over it. And the more people that we have, as far as, and this doesn't necessarily mean we're restricted to 48 hours a week either. What could happen potentially is, I don't know if it would be able to move AI in anarchy. It's possible. If that does happen, then perhaps. But I don't want to clear a territory either. Like, say we run 3 p.m. to 11 p.m. on a Sunday, and then all of a sudden you're back into anarchy mode. Well, the anarchy mode, yeah, technically trains can move, but then we don't want to clear the territory out to where there's nothing. We want to keep the territory hot. I don't know what that means, other than, trying to basically ask people to, I don't know, not run trains so much. I don't even know what the idea is to do it. We used to have these, when I ran a server before 24/7, we used to have certain times where we set up sessions and then the server was down. I mean, 24/7 is great, but in this whole AI thing, I'm wondering. But at the same time, once you're out of the dispatcher range, the 3 to 11, the 10 to 11, and the other thing too, before I get into that, the whole 24/7 was a gimmick. It was a gimmick. It was more of myself trying to get an edge and trying to get people interested. And it worked for a little bit. It was quickly, done by other servers, like almost immediately within 24 hours. Once I went 24/7, the other servers went 24/7. They say they don't care about what they do on my server, which is baloney. But because I pay attention to what every server's doing. I was watching videos of Run 8 Depot last night just to see how they make trains and how they build trains. It was interesting because I was on YouTube, and I check out what other servers are doing, not to try to steal ideas, but to learn from them. Just like how, if they want to learn from me, that's fine. I've always been open. But so a yardmaster can come in between. That's for sure. It doesn't have to be like, if it's within an 8 hour or whatever, as long as we know that 8 hours is coming up, or 12 hours or whatever, then there is time to do that. Hump operators, same thing. As long as, and the whole idea is to get the hump and the trim working together. You start getting hump and trim working their own thing, and then it just, I don't know, it just doesn't, it's not as efficient, and that's where problems start beginning. And then people bring in trains too soon and all the other stuff. Switchers, you got 8 hours, on those. See, that's changed too. I see 8 hours here, but it's actually, this is actually changed a little bit. I have to update that, because some of that, it is 8 hours for that day on the Sunday, but then over here it's 13 hours now. I'm not going to worry about that. It's because there's 5 days now instead of, or there's 4 days now instead of the 5 we originally were going for. So those aren't up to date, whereas these are the same. The hours a day changes depending upon if it's an 8-hour day here or if it's a 13-hour day here. So it kind of changes. But switchers, they go, I mean, basically when they're available. So, but if there's no crew during that particular time, then there's no reason why they can't run, even if it's in anarchy. But still, I'm thinking to myself, 3 to 11 is pretty open on a Sunday, and then you got 10 a. That's another open area. So there's a lot of potential. Some of these switchers too. Of course, the actual process of switching for, say, a Cadiz, yeah, it would take a good hour or something, but in AI, I believe they can be moved. Like, once he's done his switching at Cadiz, he's coming back, or he's done his last set-off, pickup, whatever, on the way back. He's got, I think, about 2 to 3, maybe 2-3 hours heading back to Barstow. He can go AI. He can go AI some of the way there. The same thing that works with some of the road switchers, which we haven't included. I don't think we have them. Actually, that's something I haven't included, was some of the ones that work. But that's okay, because they're going to work Mojave or they're going to work Bakersfield. You just set them in a siding and wait till a player is able to control it, and the dispatcher will have to know that. So, but yeah, maybe I'll set this up to Q&A, because there's really not more I can talk about this at the moment. I can't think of anything else. Everything else, Barstow's fine. If you guys have any questions or ideas, let me know, and I can address them. I suppose probably a TeamSpeak might have been a little bit better, especially for questions, and there's this delay. But I'll just go ahead and look into here for a second, go back in, see if there's any other questions. But I don't see, I mean, I certainly see anarchy being possible in between. And who knows, we might be able to run more than that, but right there is a 3.5 slowdown factor. So, what do we got here? Good stuff, alright. So a 3.5 slowdown factor, that's going to be interesting, because there's going to be a lot of, there's some interest in Yardmasters. I've seen it. I've definitely seen the interest in the Yardmasters, so that's good. Okay. Anything else? So yeah, I'm open to discuss anything at this point. Otherwise, I'm going to probably, I don't know, I'd probably go and do some groceries early enough and come on later on. But so yeah, Yardmasters is the interesting one. I see some definite interest. We definitely need more Yardmasters. I don't know how fast or how soon or whatever, and some of these people I know, others I'm not sure. There's not that much interest. Ski's in there. I don't know who Thygo is. The name just doesn't ring a bell. He's got a lot of interest too, like as far as time. I just, well, he's variable too, but that's a new member as well. I don't know too much about him other than he's been working Barstow, so that works. But even Ski the other day, I was talking with him, and I mean, he mistakenly brought in a train too early, so I mean, it's a learning process. We all got to learn this. So there's not that many interested in yardmasters, but there's some. So, and Mike, I'm not too sure. I haven't seen him around, to be honest. I'm not too sure. Only thing we were talking about this morning was the low number of cars coming out of Monolith. Yeah, Monolith based on... Oh wait, Monolith? I know Victorville higher based on that document on Wikia you reference. Oh. Yeah, let's see, I take a look at the tags, not sure. Let me see what the tags look like. I won't go in to change it, I'll just, whoa, what happened there? There it is. Oh, what the heck are we looking at here? Bakersfield, that ain't it. Yard loads at Victorville. Okay, where the heck are they? So it should be these suckers right here, the Ys. Oh, here, is that them right there? Tehachapi, okay, they're only calling 8. They're all going to West Colton, apparently. I don't know if there's other... I don't know why they're all going to West Colton, to be honest, but... There's no reason why that can't be increased if necessary. I don't know, maybe there's too many empties. I honestly don't know. Victorville. I gotta answer the phone. Dang it. Just give me a minute. Hello. Yes. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. This coming Wednesday. Okay, 1 to 4. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. I'll try to clean up a little bit, and yeah, I won't be here, but I'll yeah, you guys can just Bob. So, yeah. Okay then. You're welcome. Okay then. Bye bye. See, I spoke too soon. I gotta write that down before I forget. So I was saying earlier about the moving. Nobody had been here lately, but now all of a sudden there's a home inspection for Wednesday. I don't know what time it was or how long it would take or whatever. So many people have been in and out, and this place is not so much. I mean, I have to clean up in here too, but let me just see if I make sure I didn't miss anything here. I'm not familiar with the monolith cement plant, so I'm not sure how many. Yeah, so that's monolith. Let me. Where did that go? That was untitled? Oh, I guess that was. Oh, okay, I opened one too many. So we do have, as it appears. Hang on a second, didn't it? Alright, I gotta ask something about this. I gotta check the forums now. Okay. So I'm gonna kind of answer my own question here. Okay. Alright, so the TD3 data. Now I'm thinking, if I'm not mistaken, this includes Oro Grande. And I think the Victorville local does it. Sunday through Thursday. But I want to see the article for a second. So that's TD3 data, which, as far as lengths and stuff like that, especially when it's not needles, that could be proper. That, who knows? That might even be wrong. No, actually, no. He would have a pretty good idea because he was a needle sub. Let me take a look at the article here for a second. Let me just double check here. Yeah. Okay. So, Cemex, Portland Cement, blah, blah, blah. We load 40 to 50 rail cars per day out of this facility and ship them to our terminals in Phoenix. See, it doesn't mention anything else. Oh, okay, wait a minute. Sacramento and San Diego. Ooh. Okay. So, 40 to 50 rail cars a day. Phoenix. Sacramento and San Diego. Have we even considered covering for that? I'm not even sure, but that's an interesting one. There's San Diego. Phoenix. 45 per day, 35, 37. Well, that's pretty close. Except Sacramento, blah. I'm running a, I'm pretty good with geography, but I'm not too sure where Sacramento is in California. Is it off of what I think would be West Colton, I think. We know the Dago, that's BNSF. So I take it these Temple and Lovelocks are probably not needed. That's something that can be changed. Okay. Ah, geez, so we already got Oro Grande. So, okay. Now, let's go back then. See, I've kind of avoided this, at least this part. Only because there was always something more important that had to be changed, so we never, but when in regards to how many empties we have and everything else, I think we have too many empties coming in. Ah, dang it. My mouse wheel got stuck. Yeah, I don't know. As you said, this could be gone. It was brought to my attention at one point by somebody, and then there were 2 coal trains at Oro Grande in the registry. That's coal, though. What about the cement? Because what I'm thinking here is that there's also cement coming through Victorville Local on the way back, because there's a staging going on in one of them. We don't show any cement coming out of Oro Grande, and we know it was there. It still is, apparently. So that could explain the number there. So we're short about 20. Let me play around here for a second. Yeah, I got the 2 other coal trains. Empties. Okay, RV. Oh, that's it. Oh, okay. So that might go WCRV then? That would come back up to Bakersfield, yeah. So I guess that would be a WCRV, I guess, would be the tag on that. I'm not gonna... I mean... I can change this tag if you know, to make it more. I don't know. We got a lot of weird ones. What was it? Lovelock is the huge one, but that's only got 2 cars anyways. Temple, maybe it was Temple. What the hell's that one that we have that's really screwed up right now? Is that the one? No, that ain't it. Oh, the comment's gone. Or is, dang it. It is Lovelock. Because I remember the why it went red there. Lovelock has got a major logistics issue. Because that train only runs... I'm pushing too many issues here at once. That only runs Sunday, or on the weekends. Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and then the only reason why I could see that happening is if a particular industry only shipped once or twice a week and loaded this up. And it likely could be the loads, otherwise it's probably a lot of empties. So that's another one. So there's a lot of different logistics things. I know Mike's listening to this, but I'm not going to make any changes unless I get an okay. Let me see here. Yeah, Sacramento would be WCRV. We gotta document this. So Sacramento should be WCRV. We are okay with San Diego, and then of course Phoenix without any limits. Thought we had something. We also had cars going via the Cadiz local when that train didn't run, I think. I'm not sure, but I'll leave it like that. Alright. So at least that's documented now, and if that's going to be changed, we can change it then. No, I'm in the wrong one here. So what I was going to do is I'm going to do another thing here while I'm on there. Let me get out of the availability here. Shoot. I can't go in through that way. I'm going to close that tab. I'm going to minimize that for... I can still hear it in the background, but we are going to go to this. I want to see what's on the ground there. Hopefully it'll run. It should be able to. Oh, don't pause on me. That ain't right. What is that? I said California. Why did it do that? Dang it. Okay. It says California. Why did it go to that? That ain't Monolith, California. Is it? Well, maybe it is. It looks like it. Oh, yeah, it is. Dang it. For some reason, I thought it went into the Plain States or something. This thing's annoying. Yeah, whatever. Okay. What do we want? That. Okay. I forget my era, but we'll play around with a few of them here. I can't tell what's on this side. Oh, shoot. Looks like one there. Looks like a giant tank car. I know that's not the case, but... what do we got? Coal here? Or I don't even know what... There was coal. Oh, there we go. I didn't see the coal cars, though. Yeah. So I count about 28 cement hoppers at that point, but let's check some around the era. That's going back to 2000 and I can't even see that there. 2006. Yeah, and then the images get a lot worse further back you go, so I can't see much there. $19. Not huge. I don't see the other hoppers going. So I'm going even more modern now. And that's when the coal starts popping up. That's the first time I saw a coal hopper in there. But I'll check this again. See, there's your coal. But we know it was there because we saw it. Oh, I think they're there. I just didn't see it or whatever, or it came in off those trucks or something. I don't know. It looks like it. Yeah, your 2008, and then let me go right to current. Yikes. All right. So, what do we got? Let's see here. Well, there's only 8. So I imagine at worst it could go up to at least 14. This just needs the tags changed. Phoenix is okay. San Diego's okay, but the Tempo, Lovelock, they could probably go. get replaced with the ones I mentioned in the forum post. Yeah, it came and went around the era. Not to mention, we have an issue with running the, what the hell's that local call? The local out of West Colton Flyer, or whatever the heck it's called. Yeah. So, okay, well that's one. So we got like 28 there. Now, the other one might give us a good idea, too. So that's current. That's really dark for the picture. I know that they were, ooh, oh no, that's a train, that's a main line. That's gotta be a main, well, is it? Yeah, it's gotta be a mainline train. That's way too much. I don't know. Yeah, it just looks a little weird. Two different images. So, we're gonna go back one. That was current. Alright, that's a nice picture. Of nothing. Well, that's current era, so I know they stopped with the coal. You can see the coal's drying up there by then. I don't know if they actually shut down or what. There's one car there. We're in 2011. That's more, you know, I'm beginning to wonder if it's more current. There's some coal cars. It's more coal than cement at that point. 2013. Yeah, it doesn't look... There we go. So 2010. I think you could safely put 15 cars. Could definitely be doubled. But will it match the empties? Hard to say. Let me just check... Yeah, it can't come out yet, but there are other industries for it to serve. Fleta. I was mentioning that the other night. I was was over that area and I saw them. So I'm thinking, yeah, it could be doubled, but you can see current era, it goes away. And I know Scott was mentioning before to me about how with the change of basically all over the United States they're reducing coal usage, etc. So that's why you see the decline. Not to mention the economy. The economy's not anywhere near as good as the media is trying to tell you. But let me go with Victorville. You see I already have some of the searches in here, right? Let's see what we get. And there's a whole... we've never got into the whole other side of Victorville, which is the... whatever the heck that spur is. Anyway, it's on the to-do list. We never did it, but... Wow, what the heck's that? Okay. Is that current time? Oh, that's back a little bit. Let me go current. Yeah, current. What's a cement plant? Was that it? Oh, here we go. Woo! That's nice. Looks like ours. And then you got over on the other side. Holy crap. That does look like ours. Do we have enough tracks? Wow. That's impressive. Let me go back. 2008, we had the recession. I don't know if I do 2008 or what the hell the TD3 date is anymore. I keep forgetting. So it goes down there, 2008, a little bit. I believe that's I don't know what the heck that is. Is that even on the main line? That looks like part of a local or something. Holy crap. Wow. A lot of, it's not that busy, but, and I know Oral Grand's got some too, so I think they stage Oral Grands. I honestly think they staged the Victorville local, and it's partly Oral Grand stuff. I can't say for certain, but there's nothing of a grain train that comes out of Oral Grand, which makes me think the Victorville local goes up there, or it hits it on the way through. But man, I mean that's a crapshoot. I mean really, it just varies like holy crap. And then there's a lot of cars. So, I mean, we can go by the description, 45, and then you see, yeah, you see definitely that, but I see more. To me, I see more than 45 cars here. Which is okay, because empties come, and, you got 90 or something. I don't know when this... You look at this. Like, that's way more than 45, for sure. I think it's more than 90 too. I'm not going to bother counting that, but let's see here. Yeah, I think you're right. Lots of probably more than 90, I would guess. So, I'm going to go over to Oral Grand for a minute. Take a look over there. I've done this, it's been a little while. The reason why I never got to it is just, we've always had something else come up, or... So we go over to Oral Grand, which isn't too far away. And... like, it's got staging ability. I'm not too sure. So the plant, there we go. So you got your cars in the plants. They got a little bit. Do they have a place where they can actually stage a train? They got to do a pickup either, or something. Like, I can see a whole empty train of more than 45 cars, something like a 90-car train from the Victorville local of empties coming back this way to Victorville, then coming back and switching. It really doesn't matter. I mean, but Oral Grand, that's the one we could do, because now that's a different era. Let's go with the 2010. I like that idea. I don't know how many empties we're getting, but yes, we can increase monolith. Not too much of the era. Then you got there. See, look at the storage here. That's storage. That's bare table. I'm pretty certain that's bare table storage. Maybe not. What the hell is that? Oh no, that's coal. That's empty coal hoppers. Holy crap. I didn't see any loaded ones, but we've been in this discussion too about the coal here, but... And the other thing too, the empty coal could be holding off at Oral Grand for Victorville. Possibly. I think these two are very much related. I don't see... Okay, here we go. Well, there's our coal right there. So we got coal. You can see all the dirt areas. I don't know what that there. That's like trucking or whatever. Yeah. Then you go current. Go back to current, and then still got about the same. I don't know why I never included this, to be honest. Something didn't make sense. Maybe it was the TD3 data that kind of threw me off because I couldn't figure out a train that was going for it. But the coal stop, which is normal for this era, or for current, current time, So there's potential, like right there. You want a place to put it all you have to do is add the tags, and then we're done. Empty cement oh yeah, hoppers, yeah, okay. Yeah, that was some empty coal too. Let me go through something data-wise. So I'm gonna get out of Google Earth for a minute. Going back into that's not what I want. Okay, forget the 2, 0, and 1s. That's just the random calls that we're getting. Yard empties going to, or sorry, not yard empties. Why is your cements again? Okay, wait a minute, hang on. That's that is Mojave. So here's the thing. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. We got 30 cars coming out of Yuma sub for Mojave, which is why you see all those extra cars that start sitting up at Mojave. So there's where the issue is right there, logistics wise. On Victorville, Oak Creek, you know, you don't have to worry too much about because they just kind of disappear anyways. Although, honestly, you want to have it balanced. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 1, 2, 3, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 50, okay, 50 cars. 50 for Victorville, 30 for Mojave. These are mainline train empty requests. I'm not going to bother with Oak Creek at the moment, or Cadiz, but I'm going to go back to the this thread here. Mainline waybill counts for empty requests are, oh, I hope I got it right, 50, yeah. 50 for Victorville. 50 for Victorville, 30 for Mojave. Now, I don't know what, if something had changed at some point, but let me take a look. So, Victorville, this might have been added at some point, or we just happened to get more empties than loads were going out and it started building up. 35, 40, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51. The Victorville local doesn't always run, but depending upon, now let me take a good look there for a second. It's more, it has to do more with the source train. I should have gone back into it. Yermo sub, the UP trains run daily. So this is coming in every day regardless. So what happens is, with Victorville, okay, with Victorville, with Mojave only running Monday to Friday, and I don't know if we went through a weekend before. I think we went through one of them. And some of this had changed probably a few cycles ago, maybe about 6. Some of this was added, especially Phoenix, because it's one of the last ones we added there. I think Victorville will clear itself up. I think. I don't see why not, because what's happening is you got 47, 48, 49, 50. You got 51 right there. You could actually call more just to get Oral Grand going. Possibly, I don't know, 20 or 30 by the looks of it. I don't know what Oral Grand does or where it sends it, but we've already talked about some recommendations as far as what needs to be changed there. Mojave, or Tehachapi, which is what I got it set up on there, for West Colton has 8, but here's your issue. You've got all this stuff going into Mojave. Now, it's going to Mojave tag, but it could actually go anywhere. It could go to Oak Creek, and I think a lot of it's been dive bombed over to Oak Creek. Well, you got a lot that already has tags of no, those are loads. Those are loads in Oak Creek. So I screwed up there. So Oak Creek doesn't matter. So part of that Mojave is actually Oak Creek. I don't get it. I honestly don't understand why there would be a shortage. Unless I'm missing something. Those are loads. So there might have been an issue at one point, and then it kind of get either that or because of the Monday-Friday nature. I would presume maybe Oak Creek gets sent more or something, or this could be dived down a little bit, or we just leave the empties as they are and then start adding. Okay. Seems to match the requirements. Let me just check one more time here. And then I'm gonna probably call this one for now. I want to go back to the sheet for a second. So Oak Creek is calling for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50. It's calling for 50 out of Oak Creek. 50 for Victorville. 30 for Mojave. Empties. Loads going out is about 50. Is about 50. I say about 50. Loads going out is about 50. So it seems to match the requirements, except considering the following. Sources for empties run daily. Loads for Mojave run weekdays. Loads for Victorville run 6 days a week. So you have the extra. You don't have enough extra, actually. We can also consider more loads going out via Oro Grande. Empties can always go to Oro Grande, or not Oro Grande, blah blah blah, to Oak Creek, as there seems to be a deficit of empties for them. Alright, so I'll post that message. Hopefully that'll... Let me copy this out because I've had the thread open for a while. No, it worked. Alright, so I've documented my findings. Let me close that up for now. That'll have to be changed. I can do the change or whatever. We'd have to change the whole procedure as far as what Victorville Local does, and that's something I've avoided. Let me go into... I gotta change the data, the auto filter here. So I'm gonna turn off the filter. That should bring us back to where we were. But, whoops. There we go. So yeah, I'm not sure. It just could be. It could be the random number just happened to send a bunch, or what. We're technically on the, what is it, the 47th cycle. So I don't think we've gone through weekend scheduling or frequency scheduling more than once. At the very most twice. I think we've gone through one weekend, although to be honest, I don't remember us going through a Mojave weekend where we were shut down before. So I think this was the first weekend. But we already had an issue. That could have been... I honestly don't know. It might have been already rectified by adding more loads to Phoenix. Let me just take a look around and see what we got at various locations, and then I'll probably end this for now and come back later this evening. Because there's a lot of cool stuff regarding... Oh boy. Oh, I thought the signal wasn't going to load. Let's take a look up here and see what we got in Mojave. Yeah, these are the industries I was talking about over here. We got, with the exception of one, there's industries not being served, and that's because the local would be coming down from that line. It could be simulated, I suppose. Maybe if we're lucky, version 2 might include that main line, but I'm not going to hold my breath because they seem to be... See, there's... So, when it gets tagged Mojave, it can be used for either or. So it can be used for Oak Creek, or it can be used for to go out to Monolith. So a lot of that can go right over to Oak Creek. What do we got, 60? Holy crap. So we're okay there. Everything else there looks fine. I'll go up to Monolith for a minute. By Summit. So I know we had a lot one time, and then we stored a bunch of them. And I think we still have some, but we've actually been slowly going through this and not sending any more up there. So we got a lot here still. But there's no requirement as to why we have that much or how much we need. So everything else is okay. So definitely we got lots. I don't know where it came from, or I know we had a lot one time. We brought a whole whack up here, and then that's why we never really needed any more. 67, not to mention what's in here. Personally, I'd keep the empties there. They're going to last a while, but we definitely could double the production coming out, and then just keep an eye on the empties, so we can double it to maybe 16. What does the loader track look like here? We got enough to load a little bit more, I would say. Yeah, I could probably hold 16 or do 16 or whatever. Let's look at... it's already at Barstow, and I missed... Oh yeah, did I do the 60 there? No, I didn't. I should have done it while I was there. Blah, 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 blah. I think a bunch got moved the other day, so I'm going to assume it's probably in good shape. Come on, load up. So used to... When I used to have the server on my own, it would load. It would take a while to load, but not as much when you're a client. There we go. Okay, there's the loads. I think we don't have any. I think we already moved it all. And there's some in the back. This probably looks horrible on the live stream because I'm moving around so much. What's that? Vancouver. San Bernardino loads in there. I'm just going to go over to Oral Grand's not being used right now. I don't even know if it's being used for storage or anything. I doubt it. So yeah, we have a few cement empties for Barstow as well, which could be used for anything, really. Not too bad. Verdamont, what am I doing? So I know this was getting pretty busy. I'm just wondering if we have enough track, as in versus the prototype, because I saw a lot of cars, although it does kind of look pretty much the same. 61 in that track. So about another 60. 119 if you want to be exact. $151. So yeah, in theory, or an Oral Grand, I don't know how many you would want to add, but again, it would take a procedure change to do it. Or not a procedure, yeah, I guess you call it a procedure change or whatever. Not quote-unquote procedures, but it can certainly be done. It's just more work. So Oral Grand here, I don't think has anything. But there's no reason why it can't be moved. Yeah, this is definitely usable. So, yeah, well, there's potential. It looks like it's being used. I don't know how much it would run if you want to run 30 loads out of here a day. What is that? Oh, I thought it was a car. Okay. Oh, I guess that's the coal unloader. Okay. Funky. Yeah, and then however you figure into the coal procedures. What is that? Just another plant just sitting there? I always really never took a really good look at it. So, okay. So yeah, like I said before, the oral grand thing, that's something. Changing the waybills, I can change them. That's no problem. I can go by the form. If you want me to change anything, um, let me know. As far as procedures, I don't know if I'm going to get into procedure changes, but it looks like I'll be generating the next cycle at least because I got the latest version. Lots of good details. All right, awesome. So, yeah. So I'm just saying your call because the only thing I'm going to make sure is that what I will be changing is where things are starting to spawn. I'm going to work on that tonight. It's 4:42 right now. I'm going to probably call it in the next minute or two. So, so logistics isn't as bad as I thought it was. Um, I'm not sure. There's still some logistics issues, as I mentioned. There's that one train that shows up in Barstow that only comes 3 days a week, and I don't know what that is. For all I know, it could be an empty grain train partially, or combined with other empties, considering it's going, I think, Lovelock. But I don't know. Things are going to increase. I avoided worrying about adding more of a spawn coming out of Los Angeles for now, only because version 2 is going to change all that anyways. However, West Colton inbounds, well, really didn't. It's not going to change anything other than the location. So Yuma sub always had a spawn coming off the Yuma sub, which will still be valid for the Yuma sub transfers, but in theory you could have it changed over to all West Colton transfers, but that just eliminates the diamond. I don't know what you do with Yuma sub. That's just goofy stuff. There's so many other trains that you can add in, and you can create some AI to do it. We've already figured that much out. I just don't know how. I don't know the list of trains and all the data and blah blah blah. I don't even want to think about it, to be honest. But it's interesting because then you get the Colton Diamond in play, and that'll be kind of interesting for AI too. My only concern with that is the more you put on that line, the more you're gonna put stress on West Colton, and then where do you put the cars? You have to put them into those transfer trains. It's possible. I certainly can see it. It's a possibility. So, I mean, food for thought. I think the grain operations are more important in BNSF for now, but. The big thing, of course, is BNSF Bakersfield is fixed. We're using a spawn. The spawn, just so you know, if you didn't catch the video the other night, the spawn is now coming up right here. So we're over right at the end of that signal. So it's a little further down, and what that does is that avoids the whole block over here with the flag, the curve, or whatever. Most trains are going to end somewhere around this area. They're not even going to come close to this. I don't even think they can anyways. I don't think we have a spawn big enough. I think we had like 8,000 feet that was coming out to about here, so we really have nothing that's going to spawn that far anyways. So all the trains are coming up here. I want to do the same thing. I'm looking into it, and I'll do more of that tonight. I haven't looked at Magadan just yet, but Saco, or south of Saco, is where I want to get the next spawn in. There are some small blocks, 40. I think it'll fit. I don't think this is a small enough block to cause a problem. It just takes a lot of entry, a lot of repeated entry. There's tons of these 40, but the same thing happened in Florida. They were using these 40 blocks, and I think Florida's okay with 40-meter blocks. It's when you start getting these little 12-meter things in the middle that it causes a problem. But the old issue, or the old place that it used to spawn, and I want to eliminate this whole siding right here of storing cars. By doing that and have it come in as a transfer, the UP North can just come into spawn the train on the main, or spawn the cars on the main, and just go to a restricting. So yeah, here's where here's where it's spawning right now, I believe, is right here. So having it back before that siding gives that siding a purpose other than storage, which is what it's being used for now. That stuff don't matter. Like I said before, Magadan's the other one. If I do Magadan, or if I can get Magadan going, which I'm going to probably attempt to tonight, that'll eliminate storing cars in the Magadan siding itself, because what will happen is it'll just act like it is, or what will eventually be UP North. There'll be no more worrying about tagging at Magadan. And then I'm going to cross my fingers for one more thing, and I know it's on the Run 8 team's radar. Like, getting the cars out of here is what I'm talking about. So this will be gone. There'll be no more tagging of cars at Magadan. What'll happen is it'll be a spawn that'll hopefully, as long as I can get this siding to work, and we'll have to wait and see. And I'll if there's any issues, I'll put my findings over to Ski, so he knows where I'm at. I don't think he's watching live today. I think he was going to be out today, because originally I was talking about going up there to meet him and discuss some of the ideas. But there's a lot of stuff. If it's not coming from Run 8, it's coming from RTS, because there's a lot of ideas that we got to throw around. I got tons of ideas to throw at him and see, basically what, really push him. Because right now what I've given him is so simple for him to generate. It's unreal. So yeah, this one is going to be the next one. So that once I got those two, I'm thinking we're okay. We'll have that spawn here, so that'll totally put that into play. I ain't worried about this until I know what's going on with Fleta. I could care less. There's already a spawn there for it anyways. We just don't use it. Ditto with the other side. Oh yeah, the other one was not a big deal, because we already got trains coming out of Daggett, but to actually have the train spawn out of here instead, that'll be another potential goal. And the last one is... Oh, yeah, I already did that one. Hang on a second. So yeah, we got the main spawning on here. That was the first one we did. I was quite impressed that they spawned perfectly here. Like I said before, I ain't worried about that. I'll just leave it alone. And the other one, of course, would be Needles to get it to spawn further back from the station and through the block signals, instead of spawning right at the station. So it just basically what it'll do is you're at Needles and you're at the platform. So when you're over at the platform here, I'm in the wrong way. Okay. So the idea is, it's right now it spawns somewhere in the neighborhood of holy engines. I was like, wow. I knew there were some engines down here. I was down here the other night. I didn't notice that many. So yeah, just like where these guys are getting their crew, the train spawns up over maybe around the curve here, as opposed to spawning right here. He's going to spawn right here. The Amtrak already spawns beyond there on its own, and it doesn't need a spawn because it's its own train every time. But we're thinking of having it so that it spawns about here, and then it runs through these signals, which used to be an issue, but I think we got that figured out now, so we can have a spawn on either one of these two tracks, and then they can do their crew changes. Once AI started, they can do their crew change and hold for a crew, or for a little bit anyways. You can always hold a train for like an hour or so, see what happens. So where did all the power and Needles come from? It was difficult switching power in San Bernardino Barstow, I think. I'm not sure. Old back bar, maybe, as well. I think that's what they are. What do we got here, anyways? We got, well, we got GPs, GP40s. We got some SDs. Yeah, we got a lot. We probably don't need all this, to be honest. Some of them are the bare table transfers, but there's no way you need that many engines. So, I can't think of anyone who needs them. probably could be sent off with another train or used. I think the idea was if it was down here and the train was underpowered, which has also been fixed. If the train was underpowered, you could always add one of those engines to it, but that issue's also been fixed on the current RTS version that's not been released yet. So, from Barstow to Needles, yeah, we had a whole whack in Barstow. I remember that. Now you mention it, so that's all right. I mean, they're okay there, but I guess we can get rid of them. They're not really needed. And yeah, so that's about it for now. I think 2 cycles ago? Yeah, I think so. Maybe. We'll look at getting them off territory with bare tables, yeah. Well, the bare table starts slowing down as a Monday cycle into Tuesday. I think Monday's the last cycle if we're even running them. I don't know what's going on, but anyways, I ain't gonna worry about that for now. I gotta get going for now and get some supper and grub, and maybe I'll go to, I don't know. I might go out for fast food. Maybe I'll get a TV dinner. I'm spending way too much on fast food, so, but we'll see. I cooked Saturday, so that was cool. Okay. Anyways, I'm taking off, so. Just see who's all in here. Cool. Okay. Anyways, that's all for that. So yeah, it's 4:55 p.m. I'm gonna have another live stream later this evening, and so that's pretty good to do. I'll do these Q&As once in a while. I gotta watch. I'm probably gonna downgrade my bandwidth at some point. I think. I don't know when yet, but let me see if there's anything on the activity here before I call it. So yeah, there's nothing else. The Oak Creek inbound. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, that was discussed earlier. So yeah, that's about it for now. I'll have another live stream probably later this evening where we're going to go into dealing with some of those new spawns that I was talking about, how to set them up. There's a new piece of software that's out that Ski's got that is going to make things a lot easier, and then we'll go through what are our absolute limitations. Like, as far as he's working on a version right now of RTS that still has some bugs. It's one of the things, and it's in good hands because he knows what the hell he's doing a hell of a lot better than I do, and I just avoided the thing because I knew it was going to be a nightmare. Not a nightmare, but it was going to take a lot of effort on my part, and the issue is again those small blocks, and I mean the really small blocks. The 40 blocks I think we're okay with, as long as the cement hopper doesn't, as long as there's a block that doesn't fit in between the two trucks of the cement hopper, we're fine because there's nothing smaller than that. So even a 20-meter block I think will work, if I'm not mistaken. But I'll investigate that a little more this evening, see where we're at, and I'm going to continue looking at setting up the spawn for north of Bakersfield. I had already started it the other night, and then I decided not to do it, but I'm going to do that on a live stream just to show you how it is. It may become obsolete very shortly because he wants to automate it. He wants to basically say, okay, this is where your starting block is, this is where your ending block is, and boom, it just automatically will set up your spawn. He's basically at that level. And hopefully everything will survive till version 2 if nothing majorly changes, but it'll speed up the process. Just having the other two spawns that I talked about just now, without having to worry about tagging a UP North or Magadan, it increases. Oh, I was going to say one other thing, and I totally forgot about this. Hopefully you guys are still there. If not, no big deal, but I'll mention this. I'm trying to think of... I almost forgot about it again. I have what is on Run 8's radar, or at least was on their radar at one time, was industry tagging automated. I know that was on their radar. Perhaps it might be available in version 2. I know it's something that is on their radar, though. And if that happens, then the only thing that's left for a yardmaster to tag would be the empties inside the yards themselves. The other thing, I'm looking at a few other things. I'm just going to give you a few sneak peeks before I'm going to end this right at 5 o'clock. Well, I got a minute, so I'll just end it in this last minute here, but I'll tell you a few of the sneak peeks. Number one, I want to impose a limit on spawns so that if it goes beyond the limit, the program stops it from spawning, which means we have to measure meters and all that other stuff, but that can be done. I don't know if that was the only other major one that I could think of right now. It might be, but yeah, so getting into those things. And the other thing is I want to get a better graphical interface for the RTS software. And automation, more automation of being able to spawn multiple, because we're looking at 48 hours a week, so that's 2 cycles right there. So being able to spawn multiple cycles in one time, but we have to have the air trapping, because if it starts crashing on you in the middle of it, then it's going to be a mess, and I don't want that. And I want to try to make it as easy, and but we got a good program around the project. My programming days are over. As far as RTS, I don't think I'll be doing any more programming. More design and overseeing and focusing on the system, maybe some sheets and stuff like that, where that's my expertise right now. So anyways, that's all for now. I will see you guys later this evening, probably about 8 o'clock Eastern. I'm not too sure yet for sure, but sounds about right. Anyways, we'll talk to you later.